Hello, my name is Bailey. Today I am going to show you how to clean a carburetor on a 2019 KLX140G. This thing's pretty clean. I rebuilt the entire motor on it. The carburetor is clean, but I messed up the float height, so I'm going to be tearing it down today. So anyways, first thing you want to do, you want to get a 5/16 bolt, 8mm. They're both the same thing. Loosen that bolt, that bolt, that bolt. Same ones on the other side. This bad boy right here, this one, and this one. Okay, I'll be back whenever I do that. All right, so after you take off all those bolts, you want to grab a 12mm and take off the bolt right here and the bolt right here to take off the seat. All right, I forgot to mention, on the other side of these bolts, it didn't come with it whenever I got it. There is going to be a nut on the other side that you're going to want to grab handy dandy adjustable wrench, or you're just going to have to get the proper wrench for the other side. All right, so after this seat is off, you want to grab a 10mm and take those two off. So to take off the shroud right here, you got to take off this gas cap, and then it should just pop right off. After that, you want to grab another 10mm and take off this bolt. After you take off that bolt, before you take off the tank, you want to make sure you come over here and turn your petcock off. This is the fuel shutoff switch. If you leave this on and then pull out that gas line, it'll pour gas everywhere and very quickly as well. All right, and then once you take out that bolt, lift up the gas tank, and then this thing should come right off. All right, gas tank is lifted. So right here is the fuel line. It runs all the way down to the bottom of this carburetor. If you can see, there is a little clamp. So you want to grab some pliers and pull that off, and then grab the line and then pull it straight off, and it should come off. If not, try and put some heat on it, or put some vice grips on it, and it should come off at some point. Or you can cut it and then put a new line on, either way. Once you get this gas tank off, I would recommend to have some cardboard laying out. That way you can throw it over there real quick. What you're going to need is a Phillips head and possibly some vice grips, because this thing tends to get locked on there. I have taken it off like 4 or 5 times in like the 3 weeks I've owned it though, so that comes right off. You just want to throw that to the side. Anyways, there will be a clamp right down here, right down there. Completely loosen it, not so much that the thing will fall off though, because that's a pain if you're new to stuff. Put those back together, but yeah. Okay, depending on the year of your bike and how long it's been sitting outside, this part can be a real pain in the butt. So what you want to do is loosen it to where you can get it to that, and then you kind of just want to tug on it like up and down, kind of move it side to side. What you want to do is get that air intake tube off. It's really freaking difficult to do it one-handed. I wouldn't recommend using a screwdriver or anything, but you know what, if it's that locked on, it might have to happen. I've been there. If you have a heat gun, this is whenever it would come in use. If it does run, I would let it run for a minute. Not so bad that like you'll burn your hand on the head, but that'll maybe loosen up the bolt or the head on this, but yeah. Okay, this right here is probably going to be the most annoying part. It's this choke cable right here. So first you want to take off that little boot and then pull that up and then pull this part out and then try to somehow manage to pry it out that way. It's really difficult, but if you can't get it off, you can do the carb clean right here. There's no issue with that, but yeah. All right, now that the carburetor is off, I would recommend you find somewhere to drain the gas and then just kind of pour it out everywhere. So, and just wait for it to stop, pour it all directions till all gas is out of it, and it'll make it much easier to tear it down. Yeah. All right, from this part on, what you are going to need is an adjustable wrench, some pliers, a Phillips head with a wide top, and I would grab bigger flathead and then a pretty tiny one. That's a Phillips. You know what I mean. A smaller one at least. I'll show you why in just a sec. Okay, so the first step, what you want to do is loosen this bolt right here and this bolt right here. After you loosen these two screws right here, it might be stuck, so you might need to, first you take out these two screws actually, and this one's not stuck obviously. What you can do though, if this will not just pull straight off, is grab the end of your screwdriver and smack the crap out of it. Try your best not to rip that gasket in there, but crap happens, you know? Okay. So it should be looking like this now. On most carbs, it looks like this. So what you first want to do is grab that small flathead I told you and loosen this. All right, this thing right here is called your pilot jet. This can get clogged so bad you cannot fix it no matter what. What you want to do is blow it out with compressed air and also carb cleaner. You can use this tiny copper wire, or you can buy a carb cleaning kit with a bunch of needles on it. This one is not bad right now. I don't know if I can get that to focus. You can see you can see light through it though. I know for a fact that there's light going through this, but you can barely see it. Just barely. Not right now, but you want to make sure this thing is cleared out. Use an air hose, carb cleaner, anything. Just make sure you can see through this. Next step is you want to grab your adjustable wrench and loosen this right here. So, oh, you know what? That was my issue right there. That's why I wasn't running right. It's because the whole thing's loose. Okay, this was not fake, I swear. That's why the thing was running like crap. That makes sense. Anyways, grab your adjustable wrench and loosen that all the way. That's crazy, that was the issue. I thought I was gonna have to do a float adjustment. There will be, if I can get the thing to focus, bunch of little screw holes in here. You wanna make sure that every single one of these are see-through. Just shine it up to a light, use that copper wire, shoot it out with air. Air should be fine. If not, you might have to replace this as well, or replace the entire carburetor. This is your high-speed jet. The number on, there is not a number on this, but yeah. Anyways, make sure you can see through that. It's going to be a much bigger hole. This one is less likely to be broken, but yeah. All right, next step is you want to clean out this bowl. This isn't dirty at all. Like I said, I've been through this carb before. I guess I just vibrated loose, because I do remember ran fine for about a day after the rebuild and then started running like crap. So that makes a lot of sense. So next step, right here is your float. You want to take that off right here and not make it fall. And then this will come right out. Right here's your float. What you want to do with this is shake it a little bit and listen to see if you hear any liquid at all. After time of sitting in like bad fuel, I guess, holes can get in this and that'll weigh this float down. So if your carburetor leaks a lot, that could be the issue right there. Okay, so right here is your needle. This is what I thought was the issue. There's a little bracket on the bottom of it, and you bend that up and down to adjust that float height. You want to check on this to see if it's still rubbery. I honestly haven't had any issues with my needle ever, even though it was grooved. What you want to look for is if that little rubbery area has like a ring, like it kind of looks like an hourglass. You want it to come to a straight point with nothing, like it just be smooth and no grooves at all. But this one looks fine. So yeah. All right, so after this, you want to grab some air, or you can blow it out with your mouth. You want to blow out every single hole you see in here. This one, if your carb leaks at all, you want to make sure to blow that out, because trash can get caught right there and on that needle, and it won't be able to fully close. So basically shoot out everything. Just fell on the ground. Okay, yeah. All right, so what just fell out onto the ground and under this table, and I had to get it out. It was difficult. This goes into the high speed area. This right here is your high speed. Over here is your pilot. This is where the needle goes. The needle controls how much gas goes in. Over your float, the float will go up and down depending on how much fuel is in there. Down here, you see that little wing thing? You bend that up and down to adjust that float height. So if your float is too low, it'll cause it to be lean. And if it's too high, if it's too high, it'll cause it to be too lean. And then if it sits too low, it'll cause it to dump fuel everywhere. So if you do have a carburetor that dumps gas everywhere, these two are your main culprits, or there's trash in there. So yeah. Anyways, this brass fitting, you want to put the long side up, or you want to put the long side down. I just tested it a second ago. Long side of the brass goes down, and then you grab your high-speed jet and you put that straight down. All right, so you want to grab your adjustable wrench, and you do not want to tighten this thing down too much. Obviously, I did not tighten it enough if the dang thing rattled out. But yeah, don't tighten it too much, because I had a 400EX and it completely snapped on me and it scared me. But it rattled out because it wasn't torqued down after it broke. So you just want to kind of hold it like that and then just kind of tighten it a good bit. And then once you feel it stop, give it like maybe a fourth of a turn, and then that'll be good enough. Nothing more. All right, after you torque that thing down, you want to put in your other jet, the pilot jet. That's what this thing is called. It's a small one. It's responsible for all your idling and 1/4 of the throttle. Tying that down. Do not over tighten this one. This one, if you break, basically the whole carb is gone. And these things are expensive if you know trail bike carbs. I don't know why they're so expensive. So just to the point where it stops and a little bit farther than that. Okay, next step. Grab the float like this, and you want to grab this needle and then put it on there. This is really difficult. I'll do it real quick and I'll show you how it goes. Okay, needle should be like this. Like that. Make sure you do it this way. It won't work if you put it upside down. If you put the float upside down. It's not difficult to do, but it's difficult to do one-handed. Next, you want to line this up to where it goes straight into that. Okay, and from here, you want to grab your pliers and then grab that little rod and then line up these holes right here and then stick it straight through. From here, you want to grab the bowl, the carb bowl, and then put it straight back on like that. Then grab those two screws, tighten it back on, and then bottom part will be done. Before I put that thing on, you want to make sure that your float height is parallel to the middle part of the carb. And you can tell this by looking at the float, and you'll see a little spring effect down there. You want to make sure it's not springing down, but it's on it. And you want it to be completely lined up. You see how that's lined up? Now if it's like that, you want to bend that tab inwards right there. And if it's way too far up, you want to do the opposite. So yeah. from here, I've never had an issue with this. I have no clue what this is called, but you want to take off these 2 bolts, 2 screws. I don't know why I keep on calling it a bolt, and loosen them off. And then there will be a spring and a gasket. Make sure that gasket is not teared or torn. Make sure that's all clean and put it back together. It's not difficult at all. Over here is your idle screw. You do not want to mess with that. And then over here would be your air fuel mixture screw. You don't need to worry about that either. But yeah, the carburetor is finished. 1 second, I'll show y'all how to install it. All right, now that you are here, what you want to do is put the carb down here, and you want to get it on the intake manifold first. Just don't worry about that for a bit. So yeah, the reason why I tell you to put it on the manifold first is because this is stable and you can move this thing out of the way. What I do is I just press it down as hard as I can until it's out of the way, and then you just stick that thing on, and then from then I would tighten this on completely. Actually, before you tighten it, you want to put on the choke cable, and so how you do that is you bend this back up and then you put it on how it's supposed to go on first, and then basically use the leverage to get it back on. I tried to take off that screw, but I honestly could not get it to come off, so yeah. It'll be really difficult at first, but you'll get the hang of it after a couple of times doing it. All right, after you get the choke on, what you want to do is now, instead of tightening this, no, I said tighten it, do not, I'm sorry about that. What you want to do is pull this out until you can get this fully seated onto the carburetor, and then tighten that on. And then that should be good. And then after that, once that's tightened on, then you can push it forward and get it on the intake manifold properly. So it's easy. Just like I said, it's really difficult the first time. I've been doing this for about 2 years. I'm not a pro at all, so don't take my words by heart, but you know, I mean, I try to relate with like newer mechanics and teach them my mistakes instead of y'all having to learn it yourself. So this is all difficult. If you have a heat gun, makes it way easier on yourself. And also what I've seen on these KLXs is there are no videos about these things. I rebuilt the dang transmission on this, and I really wish I recorded it so y'all can watch it. But I'm not tearing this thing down again. Anyways, grab your screwdriver and then tighten that down, and then I'll bring y'all back in just a sec. All right, now, once you get both these tightened on, remember, tighten this one on first. You might need to push that carb down while you tighten it, and then push the whole carb over towards the manifold until that connects perfectly, and then tighten that. After that, what you want to do is grab your throttle cable. This can go one or two ways. You'll see this line right through here. I always mess it up because I honestly don't even have it memorized. But if you look straight down here, you can see that little brass thing, right? That's where the bigger side goes. So what you want to do is just push it straight down there. You're going to want to grab that and kind of move it side to side, and then make sure it goes all the way down, and then make sure this part is flush right here. You might need to back roll it on a couple of times until you feel it seat. And then once this is seated, it should go down pretty dang easy unless your carburetor is disgusting. Once you get that done, grab the throttle cable, make sure you got a little bit of side to side, and you should hear a little, do I hear that? Yeah. So that's how you know you did that right. So this is the part y'all have all been waiting for. Did I clean the carburetor right? Well, I don't know. I should have taken a video of how this thing was running before, but you know, I never do that. Don't even take before and after pictures. I wish I had a before picture of this thing. Entire engine was stripped on it. It's basically a roller. Okay, so grab your gas tank, Make sure you don't lose that. Take out the bolt right there or wherever you have it. And you want to first get that line out of the way and then get it connected to that bottom one down there, that brass fitting. Get that. Once you get that gas line on, you want to grab some pliers and then put it back onto that fitting over there. And then you're basically finished. I mean, that's the hardest part right there. Grab your needle nose pliers and then grab that little thing to hold on the gas line and then put it on there. And then that's the hardest part. Now, this is the part y'all have all been waiting for. So, once that gas line is connected, you want to turn on the fuel shut-off switch, known as the petcock. I have no clue how much gas is in this thing right now. I don't know what that line's doing either, but you know, it'll buff. But yeah, so you want to let that run some gas to it for a second. I got a see-through fuel filter on it. You can see the gas already going through it. Now, if you're really eager to start it, just get it. Starts up. That's how you know you did it right. It might shut off. It sounds pretty bad because it hasn't warmed up. I'll get a video of it once it fully warms up. There's a video of her all warmed up. You can see. It's not fully warmed up just yet. I don't know why it's bogging at that bottom. I think that's better than what it was. Before it like would barely even go to the bottom. But yeah, I mean that's all it takes. I'll show you how to put it back together. Kill switch it. So what you want to do is grab the shroud. And then grab your two 10mm bolts. Like I said, this thing was in a box apart, so this might be a 5/16, it might be a 12. I have no clue. I think my old one had 10 mils though. Anyways, put that, and then the two bolts that you loosened on the fairings. This is difficult. I'm gonna have to do it with two hands with my drill, that way I can bend the plastic. Get those two bolts. Make sure you do not fully tighten all of them until all of these bolts are aligned fully and they're put in. Anyways, you know, the other two on this side as well, put those in. Do not over torque them. They will break, especially the ones in the gas tank. That'll twist right through it. You'll have a lot of issues. But I'll meet y'all back here in just a sec. After this fender, the shroud's fully installed, put that gas cap on. After that, you want to grab the seat. These long ab bolts. Slip it right underneath. You'll see on this, you want to line it up right underneath that. Or not, this part will lift up. If you don't do that, and then line up those and then put those bolts on, grab your adjustable wrench, your 12mm, and you know, both sides and you'll be good. Do that, grab your two plastics. The guy who I bought it from didn't even bring these. Said he forgot them back at home in Tennessee. I live in Georgia. I made him drive all the way over here to my house. Put the bolt right there. Do that obviously off camera so you don't have to watch me struggle with one hand. And then that side on. Make sure you can flick it. I think it's better to put on these side fairings before, actually no you can't, never mind, don't listen to me. Put the bolt right there and then, I mean that's it. It's as easy as that. Wish people didn't take them to mechanics for simple carb cleans, because it's such an easy job and it's like a $300 price at like any power sports place. I hope I taught you something. Like I said, I have a stutter. So if I called something a bolt, that's a screw, or said a pilot, I don't even know. But if I said something wrong, let me know in the comments. Please don't make fun of me for it. Trying my best. Like I said, my name is Bailey. I resell dirt bikes for a living. Everyone in my family has been telling me to start a YouTube channel. And you know what? I've been seeing so many videos, like all the dirt bikes I buy, I have issues that I have to find out myself without being able to look up a video. And I think my goal, if I'm successful on YouTube, is to help people out with those small issues that like mechanics already know, like professional people know, but like you cannot find any information about it because it's something you have to find out. A simple example is like, I've seen multiple people struggle, like they'll buy a brand new spark plug and a new coil, can't get the spark plug to come on at all, and it's because of that little cap that comes on top of them. You know, I could not find a single thing. I've helped multiple people on Facebook, on the post, you know, like the area post, like I need help, mechanic. You know, I've helped multiple people with just that problem. I mean, and I had that same issue. You know, it's difficult to find good information without getting made fun of by better mechanics, you know. But I hope I taught you something. 2019 KLX140G. It's how you clean one. Clean a carburetor on it. I'm hopefully selling this thing tomorrow. Got about $1,100 in it. He's coming for 22. So yeah, Bailey out.